with you?
Chilling.
Twice in 1 week.
Twice
Okay.
in 1 week. Yeah, right back at it.
Are we doing another
We're
round of
gonna
World of
do another
Sports?
round of World of Sports, week
Okay.
22.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into it. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks got eliminated by the Miami Heat. Milwaukee Bucks, a number 1 seed, got eliminated by the Miami Heat, number 8 seed. But what I want to talk about is the post-game press conference that Giannis Antetokoumpo, a.k.a. the Greek Freak, did after the game.
Okay.
He was asked by a reporter, was this season a failure? Right after the game.
Interesting question.
Yeah. Giannis did not like the question.
No, I don't think he would.
Not at that moment. He did not like the question. And you could tell he was very irritated by the question. Because apparently this reporter asked him the same question last year.
Oh, really?
He knew the reporter by name. The reporter's name is Eric. Because I heard Giannis say Eric. So he knows the guy. And he said, you asked me the same question last year. Giannis was rubbing his head. He was like, oh my God. He was clearly frustrated by this question. Giannis is a very good dude. He happens to be one of my favorite players. So Giannis gave a very long, insightful response.
Okay.
Giannis is very intelligent. He says to the reporter, at your job, he says, do you get a promotion every year? He says, no, right? He said the answer to the question is no, right? You can't really hear what the reporter is saying, but I'm assuming the reporter says, no, I don't get a promotion every year. He was like, is that a failure? That's not a failure. He said, you go to work. He said, you try to provide for your family. Maybe you buy your house or whatever you do with your money, take care of your parents. He said, that's not a failure if you don't get a promotion every year.
Okay. He went in.
He went in. Giannis really went in. And I got to talk about this because it's a life lesson.
Right.
It's a life lesson. It's bigger than basketball. He said, sports are sports. He was like, you win, you lose. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. He said, there's steps to success. He says, you're not going to win every time. There's 30 NBA teams. Only one's going to win the whole thing every year. He says, he brings up Michael Jordan, who I believe is the best player of all time. Michael Jordan played 15 years. He said Michael Jordan won 6 titles, 6 NBA championships. He said, what other 9 years a failure?
Right.
He said, that's not failure. And not to mention, Giannis, he was playing with a back injury. He missed 2 complete games of the series, and he got hurt in one of them, so he missed a lot of that game. So he wasn't 100%. And the thing with Giannis, he doesn't cheat the game. He does not cheat the game. He's one of those guys that he's going to play. If he's available to play, he's going to play. If he's missing games, he's really hurt because Giannis does not cheat the game at all. Also, another thing, Giannis, if you know anything about Giannis, he grew up in Greece, born to Nigerian parents. He had a very impoverished childhood, him and his brothers. They used to sell stuff on the street just to eat. So he grew up in poverty. So his life is a success.
Exactly.
His whole life is a success.
Talk about it.
You could tell that he feels he's very blessed to be in a position that he is, and that's why he plays so hard. He doesn't take any plays off. He doesn't take the game for granted. But at the end of the day, to him, that's not failure. Obviously, it's disappointing. You can ask the question, is it disappointing? Was it unexpected? Yeah, it was unexpected for them to go out so early. But again, Giannis was hurt for most of the series. And it's just like Giannis at one point was about to go in on this report, and he said, you know what? I don't want to make this personal. He was about to say something. He stopped himself. He's like, I don't want to make this personal. He was like, because it's not about you. He's like, but failure, I don't look at that as a failure. He was like, next year, I look to try to get better, and I hope my teammates try to get better. And he was like, we try to win. He was like, we won in 2021. He was like, the Milwaukee Bucks haven't won a championship before that. I think the year was 71. So he said in 50 years, we didn't win a title till 2021 from 71. He was like, is that 50 years of failure? He was like, I don't consider that failure. There's steps that you take to try to win. You're not going to win every game. You're not going to win every championship. He was like, next year we'll try to win it again. Hopefully we can win it again.
Right.
But I just enjoy how well spoken Giannis was. How he did not really go at the reporter. He just was trying to explain his view of what failure and success is, and I think that's a good lesson for children. I think it's a good lesson for anybody. It's a good lesson for adults. To not get so wrapped up in failure and success, and understand that it's sports. At the end of the day, it's sports. You know, it's important to them. That's their craft. Giannis takes it seriously, but at the end of the day, he knows every year he's not going to win, and there were a lot of circumstances as to why he didn't win. But yeah, I'll leave it there. But I just had to talk about that, and on TNT last night, Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq were talking about it, and I thought it was a very interesting conversation. If you don't know about this topic, look it up. I advise anybody to just take a look at that and let me know what you think about it.
Interesting.
I thought it was very interesting. Moving on. Lamar Jackson got his bag. Lamar Jackson got a big bag. Good for him. It came out of nowhere because it seemed like there was a stalemate. It seemed like they were waiting for him to sign his other agreement, which was the franchise tag, which was a lot less money than what he just got. Got a 5-year deal, $260 million. $185 million guaranteed.
Ooh, beautiful.
Lamar Jackson negotiated this contract himself. No agent. I've been saying on here that I thought he might need an agent just because of the way there was a contract stalemate. It seemed like it wasn't going in the right direction for him. But Lamar Jackson stayed very patient, and he got the deal done.
Good for him.
So good for him.
Silenced the nation.
He silenced a lot of people that were talking a lot of crap. And he actually got a slightly better deal than Jalen Hurts got. You know, but kudos to Lamar Jackson. Props to him for, you know, not deviating from his plan. So props to him. Obviously, I got my Knicks gear on. You know who I'm going. You know where we going next, right? I can't do this show without talking about my New York Knicks defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-1. 4-1 in 5 games. A gentleman's sweep. Come on now. I thought this series was going at least 6 or 7 games. Knicks said, nah, we're going to do it in 5. I was very impressed by my Knicks. Very impressed. They showed up and they showed out. Knicks go on to face the Miami Heat that I was just talking about that took out the Milwaukee Bucks. Going to face them in the second round. I got a little breakdown as to how I see this going down.
Okay, we got a prediction now.
I got a prediction coming up, but I want to go through matchups.
Okay.
At the starting point guard, you got Jalen Brunson going against Gabe Vincent. Jalen Brunson has a big edge in this matchup. Jalen Brunson is a much better player than Gabe Vincent. I look for him to expose him. Gabe Vincent is a nice player. He's a role player, though. Jalen Brunson is a star. He didn't make the All-Star team, but he got snubbed. Jalen Brunson is a star. I look for him to dominate Gabe Vincent in that matchup. Next matchup, Quentin Grimes versus Max Strus. Both of them are good shooters, very good perimeter shooters. They both play tough. I look at that matchup as a tie. Next matchup, R.J. Barrett versus Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler got that matchup. Jimmy Butler's a star. Jimmy Butler's a superstar. He's been playing great lately. I just need R.J. Barrett to slow him down if that's who's guarding him. Just slow him down. Don't let Jimmy Butler go for, I think he had 56 against Milwaukee in one game. I think he had 40, 42 against Milwaukee in another game. I think that was the closeout game. He had 42 against them. R.J. Barrett can't let Jimmy Butler go off like that. But it's not just going to be R.J. Barrett. It's going to be other players guarding him. But they got to give him different looks and try to slow him down. But Jimmy Butler is going to win that matchup. Julius Randle versus Kevin Love. Now, this is interesting. Hopefully, Julius Randle ankle is not going to limit him. Hopefully, he'll be able to play. But if he plays and he's healthy, he should dominate Kevin Love. Kevin Love was an all-star once upon a time, but Kevin Love is an older player now. He's not as good as he used to be. He still can do work on the court, but Julius Randle should easily win that matchup if he's healthy. Also, again, with Quentin Grimes, he also has a shoulder contusion. Hopefully, he'll be okay. If he's okay, then that matchup should be a wash. Okay. Mitchell Robinson versus Bam Adebayo. I had to really think about this matchup.
Okay.
If you just mention Mitchell Robinson and Bam Adebayo, most people would tell you Bam Adebayo is the better person, the better player, rather. And for the most part, I agree with that. But Mitchell Robinson has been playing great lately. I think that matchup could be a tie. It could be a tie. Bam Adebayo is historically the better player, but his play in the playoffs has been kind of up and down. So I think Mitchell Robinson could match that production. And I think that matchup is a tie. Let's go to the bench. I believe the Knicks have a much better bench than the Miami Heat. With Josh Hart coming off Josh Hart might be starting, might come off the bench, who knows. But if Quentin Grimes is back, Hart would probably come off the bench. Okay. Got Emmanuel Quickly coming off the bench. You got Isaiah Hartenstein coming off the bench. You got Deuce McBride coming off the bench. I think, and Obi Toppin. Let me not forget Obi Toppin. I think the Knicks bench is much better than the Heat bench. Okay. The Heat have already lost Tyler Hero to injury. They already lost Victor Oladipo to injury, who I spoke about last time. I just don't think their bench is as strong as the Knicks bench. So I think the Knicks bench has a big edge in that matchup. Okay. Also, coaching. You got Coach Tibbs and you got Coach Spo. A lot of people say Spoelstra is the better coach only because he's won championships. But if you have LeBron and Dwayne Wade and
this kind of makes it easy.
Chris Bosh on your team, you're probably going to win championships. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm not going to go into, Spo has championships and Tibbs doesn't. I think both coaches are very, very good coaches. I think they always have their teams prepared to play. I think that's an even matchup. So with all that being said, the Knicks do have home court advantage in this series, which I think is going to help them. They get 4 games at home. The Heat only get 3 at home. My prediction is Knicks in 7. Okay. I think it's going to be a long series because they're both tough teams. And Jimmy Butler is going to try to will his team to wins. But I think the Knicks overall are a better team. And I think they'll show it. Based on the way they've been playing lately, I think they'll show it. I think they'll find ways to slow Jimmy Butler down in ways that Milwaukee could not do it. Okay. So my prediction, Knicks in 7. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.
So that'll be it for me.
All right. Well, thanks for coming back. It was good to see you 2 days.
2 days this week.
Awesome. Yeah. Sound off in the comments below, everyone. You know, what are your thoughts on Sporty Shorty's predictions, as well as the other topics that he covered today? Don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe.
Sporty out. Peace.